Hey guys, it's Larry here with the TaroTonics channel. We just got through a major Mercury retrograde. I mean, Mercury was in retrograde, felt like half the solar system was retrograding with it. Communications were running amok for a lot of us. Crazy things were popping up and going off, and things just kind of seemed upside down, everything on its head. It was quite an ordeal for a lot of us. So I thought it'd be a good idea to do a reading on moving, past the consequences of the retrograde and getting an idea about maybe any lesson we were supposed to learn from the hardships from the retrograde. So I'm just going to throw out some cards and we're going to talk about them. First card we draw is the Queen of Pentacles. All right, in this deck, the Queen of Coins. By the way, this is the Deck of the Bastard by the very talented 7 Stars from Tarot by 7. Second card, Two of Coins or Two of Pentacles. Third card is the Ten of Pentacles. So right off the bat, we're seeing a lot of pentacles, a lot of finances are just earthly realm, material realm, which makes sense. We got the Magician reversed here. Followed by the Chariot. And starting with the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is usually someone who likes to have her affairs in order. She handles work life. She handles home life. She's got everything balanced and everything's going really well. So as far as things to learn from this card during a retrograde, it's going to be that things can be quite chaotic. And let's look at the card. We're going to see strength here. So this is all about having the inner fortitude to be able to roll with the punches, to be able to go with the flow. When things aren't working quite right, just be able to adapt, roll with it, and just get through it. It might not be perfect, but the goal here is just to survive, to get it done, not to perfection, but sufficiently. All right, next we see the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is all about keeping balance. All right, and the Two of Pentacles here in the card, this person, the Queen of Pentacles has her back to him, so there's a lack of balance there. There's an extreme focus on trying to get things, just so, and dot every I and cross every T, but you're not focusing on long-term balance there. So a lesson from here would be to keep your eye on the prize long term. It's not all just about short-term gain. Right. And with balance during the retrograde, many of us found this very difficult to accomplish. Got a lot of things up in the air, many things on your plate. It can be very difficult, especially when it requires kind of running a team or communicating with other people to get things done in our modern world. And communication is the main problem you have during a Mercury retrograde. So one of the things we might need to learn from that is A, to be patient with people, and B, to be as self-reliant as possible. Not to an extreme, because there's only so much each of us can do on our own, but just keep things moving. So we want to learn about long-term planning with the Queen over here, but also getting good at keeping things going short-term. So you kind of want to have two plans in place. You got short-term goals and long-term plans. So you just want to have things in place that allows you to continue to do that, even when the things that we use in life, our systems, start to kind of crumble around us. We don't have cell phone reception, or the mechanisms we have in place to get through are just not working for whatever reason. We need to have contingencies for that. and will be able to handle more retrogrades in the future a little bit more easily, or just when things happen just because they happen. Now the next card is the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is all about being very, very financially secure and having a lot of stability in the material realm. And again, stability and retrogrades don't really go together very well. So the thing to learn about everything crumbling from the retrograde is to, like I said just a moment ago, to make sure there are contingency plans in place. You don't want all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. If everything is reliant on one single thing to continue to work properly in order for your life not to come crumbling down, that is not near-diverse enough. If you want true stability, you're going to have several things in place so that should something go wrong, so there be a hiccup here, you can, work around it without it drastically impacting your life. And the Magician reversed. If you're the kind of person that others might characterize as a control freak, this might be difficult for you to hear. The Magician reverse tells us that not everything is within your ability to control. You can't make things work all the time. We can do our best. We can plan for the worst. We can have everything in place just in case. But at the end of the day, you can't control everything. The things that we can control, sure, do the best you can with those. But when something we can't control happens, let's try to keep things going, which is the message of the Two of Pentacles here. Keep things going. Just take one step at a time until you work your way through it. Focus on what you can do, because what is beyond your control, you can't affect. So find the things that you can control to help you get around those things. And last but not least, and almost mercifully, we have the Chariot. And the Chariot is about moving on. Okay, it is victory, it is success, it is hard work, but it is rolling on through. So the Chariot tells us this too shall pass. It tells us that there are ways around these difficulties. Those ways themselves may be somewhat difficult, less easygoing than our normal lives are. But the Chariot tells us that it does get better. When things get down, there'll be a flip side to that point as well. So if we put these things in place, we just do the best we can, in the end, it's going to work out for us. This has been a reading on what we can learn from the Mercury retrograde we just went through. Hope you found it useful. Please subscribe so that you don't miss out on future videos. If you've enjoyed it, give me a like. And in the comments below, tell me about what happened during the retrograde for you. If you just happen to have a story about how everything went wonky, or if you see where it showed you how you can make a change that would help you in the future. Have a good day.